You know, T, T star 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 T.
So this is Share a Beer 301.
301.
We are having a fantastic conversation right now about the future, just about the future, about where we want to see beer reviewing going, uh, beer shows like this one go, and the general flow going into 2015. I've got this show and one more to start heading in a different direction for 2015. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to focus this show and not make it get stale. You know what I'm saying? Bring new people in, have a conversation, have it serious, keep it light like it always has been. But I felt like for a while it was getting so heavy and so intense with just basic kind of really geeky beer conversation that it was getting very disinteresting. Like I realized that there is I don't know. It just, to me, it was getting a little too geeky-ish. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine, and I want that to happen as well, because there is people for that, and I want them to, everybody to be welcome right here as well. But I just don't want it to be too one-sided. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that balance, like Barrick was talking about. Yeah. So this is one of it. Like, I'm going to start having conversations and keeping the show. The show might be 45 minutes sometimes and 30 minutes sometimes, and just to kind of keep people like the majority of my audience is watching recorded, and I want to try to get more people involved live. And so I'm testing that. You know what I'm testing that to see how many feathers it ruffles, and just to keep things fresh, man, to keep things, you know what I'm saying? I don't want things to get stale. And I don't know about you, Mark, but because I know you make videos and you're into photography, and we think alike. I pay a lot of attention to what other broadcasters are doing. I'm not comparing myself to an ABC, for Christ's sake, but I pay attention to what they do.
Don't sell yourself short, Joe. Come on.
I know, right?
We can make it.
I know, right? Like, I have been, Barrick may not know this, but I have been contacted by a Discovery Channel before in the past. But
by the way, Joe, that last post you put up there with the pairing,
yeah.
I say thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. What kind of hops she's using, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Woo!
I'm just like, wow, that's what I thought. I got that. I woke up, and I got that one, and I got the.
You're kind of like this. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I'm awake now.
Yeah, so that's definitely a hot pairing right there, man. Yeah, I haven't had that hot pairing apparently. Yeah. Some people are pairing their beer way better than me. Yeah. And they're apparently I have to expand my musical. What did you call it, Mark?
Repertoire.
Repertoire, because I need to bring in some cello. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, there's a cello in there, and I need to. Hey, man.
Hey, my name's Jason. Friends with Barrick, obviously.
Oh, you poor guy. Yeah. Cheers to you, man. Cheers to you.
Really.
Cheers, brother.
That takes strength.
Yeah. Pretty sure, man.
Hey, thanks, Jason. Chime in whenever you want, man. This is always. I want it to be an open forum. I want it to get more back to its original intent when Mark first jumped in. When we used to be more back to the basics originally. Actually, it used to be more of a pub feel, just like, okay, I'm pouring this beer, this is what I'm having, and then you moved on. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, what's your team doing? What's your team doing? Or the old lady pissed me off. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was
like Dallas Cowboys suck. Dallas sucks. I gotta say that I'm a Redskins fan, and my Redskins suck here, man.
They pulled one out. They pulled one out of their ass somehow, man. I don't know how that happened, but
You know what? My Detroit Lions are doing good, but I think they're searching for a way to let me down, because that's what they do every year.
They just build you up, get you all excited, and then just leave the room. Look at that picture. I mean, she probably just did that and then just walked out. You know, I mean, really.
Hey, look at there.
There's a guy that drinks his beer.
Hey, Evan.
No.
God, look at the head on that thing.
What's that microphone up above there?
Yeah.
It's mute. It's on.
we can hear you.
You're live.
I'm talking, but it won't.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Watch what you say.
Yeah.
It's recorded. It's on the internet forever.
We heard him say, bend over, get the camera, and I got the Vaseline back here. We heard him say all that stuff.
Yeah.
Where the hell is your Earl shirt?
We heard him tell you, put the elbows on the table, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my dad.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh, it's okay. You can say that.
It's okay.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Yes, sir.
We're doing a blue day right now.
That was a big foobar right there, wasn't it?
No, I was young ones too.
Yeah.
Well, cheers to you, sir.
Cheers. Let me get my drink.
That's hilarious, man. Hey, Ruben, you ever had this one from Santan Brewing, Sex Panther?
No, I have not.
I was just wondering. I know you come to Arizona, so I didn't know if you had that one.
What is it? What style is it?
It's a double chocolate porter.
Ooh.
And Mark, you're right. It's getting a little better the more
As it warms up, yeah. I mean, if it's a double porter, yeah, let it warm up to like 50, 60 degrees.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you beer geek, you.
I know.
No, actually, 52.78 degrees is
There
the
you
perfect
go.
temperature.
Yes, and what weight is that?
Oh, man. Well, it depends on what hops you have in the beer.
Right.
You know, if you got one hop, it's 53.7. The other one is 52.
And it really depends on where it's grown locally,
That's true. Yeah.
Rainfall for
What
that.
the average humidity was at the time of harvest. I mean, really. If we're going to talk hops, we got to talk humidity.
Yeah, that's great, man. Yeah, it's we definitely it was for a little while. It was just getting super serious, and I was just like scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, what's going on here?
Well, Joe, Joe, really, honestly, you got to realize that some of us are kind of into craft beers.
Yeah.
Then you got guys like AJ and Zach who are just, I mean, especially Zach. I mean, he's just a beer geek.
Oh yeah.
Really, I don't think you can carry on any kind of conversation with Zach.
No.
Not get some beer geekness out of him. It's he is.
No, absolutely, and that's the balance. That's what I love about it, is because we do have those people that jump in, and that is super appreciated, because when they're here, they're just a huge tool of information. You know what I'm saying?
I remember him saying one time something about, and I was making a joke about it, but he was dead serious. We were talking about some kind of hop, and he was saying, no, this hop was grown on the West Coast. It was the same hop, but it was grown here, so it's got this flavor to it. And Jesus,
Well, that's 99% of his life is
that's what he does.
Is beer. I mean, I mean, so.
And he comes here to talk about beer.
Yeah, which is great.
Bullshit.
It's the same thing. Like I am good friends with some coaches, and oh dear God, don't mention the wrong play. You watch the football game and you're like, oh yeah, I think that was this, and they're like, what are you, nuts? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Real serious. Real.
Oh my,
Yeah.
whoa, man.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Here.
Have a beer, exactly.
Yeah, really.
Jesus.
Have a craft beer. Chill out.
Let me buy your next one, man. Damn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's with anything. Anybody's
Yeah.
if somebody's totally into something, whatever it is, it could be coaching, football, beer, photography, cars, music, weather, model airplanes, whatever they're totally into, they know everything about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you say something wrong that goes against what they believe, then they're just gonna go off the rails, which is fine.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about this is that when we started when we started this particular show, the Share a Beer, it was the only thing out there. Mm-hmm. And now that there's others,
right,
I feel like okay, now it's time to kind of dial it back in to getting back to the basics, like my beer reviewing. I always did my beer reviewing as a blue collar, just entry level. You know, hit, because there's other reviewers for people that are super geeky, you know, that want all that detail.
Right.
You know, if you just want a basic review, there you go.
No, that's what I loved about your reviews. It's either thumbs up, one or To
me,
it's good.
Yeah.
I gotta say, last year I moved back here from Maryland. Was it last year? Last year, I've had a lot of beers, so I can't remember shit. But anyways, so it was about last year. I moved back here from Maryland, and I stayed with Barrick and Lori until I found my own place. And I didn't know anything about these beer reviews or nothing. But all I knew was when I was sitting in my room, like watching the TV, this guy and you all would be out here laughing your asses off. Having a great time. I'm thinking, what the fuck am I missing here, man? Finally coming in and joining you guys, man. It's been a blast. So, yeah, reviews of beers. I'm new to the whole craft beer thing, and so anything you can throw my way, hey, man, man. Really.
Yeah. And I think I remember that, huh, Mark?
It was last year. You were there for a while, and you popped in a couple of times, Jason, I think.
It's just for a quick, for a minute or two. But he'd be in his room, man, just listening to us,
just bawling, laughing.
Yeah. Well,
this is what it's all about right here.
You know, it's funny because we're totally into beer, but the craft beer industry has grown so much, but that still only represents 10% of beer drinkers. Really?
Well, it's changing. It's changing.
There's still the vast majority of people still don't know what craft beer is. So there's still a lot of people, but
I don't know if I said this last week, but I was in Michigan, and I went to it's kind of it's called Myers, and they're in like 3 states, but they're Meyer Thrifty Acres. Okay. Went to the beer aisle, and it was a huge aisle.
Mm-hmm.
2/3 of it was craft beer.
Yeah.
1/3 of it was macro.
That's good.
I could not. I just stood there because in Florida it's kind of hard for me to find craft beers. I just stood there and just drooled. Holy smacks! What am I going to pick out today?
Oh yeah. Well, if you go to Total Wine anymore, I mean. And now, don't get me wrong, the macros will dominate. Even still, they don't need much room because there's only so much of it, and they dominate. So they'll put them in the very back corner, and you've got to go through more and more aisles. Now are taking up. What I see is wine is starting to give a little bit more space to the craft beer because it's getting so dominant. You know what I'm saying? Because a Total Wine is mostly wine. I mean, you go in those stores and it's mostly wine. They'll have a spirits aisle, and there's definitely a lot of spirits. But the majority of that warehouse, I would call them, is mostly wine.
Right.
And at first, at least the Total Wines I would go into, they would have maybe one very long craft beer aisle. Now it's starting to be 2. Some even have 2.5. You know.
Yeah. Our local one is added. They don't do spirits at the one I go to. They just do wine and beer. But the craft beer has gone from 1 table, as I call it, an aisle on both sides, to 2, and front to back. And yeah, it's increased a lot just in the last 2 or 3 years. So that's great.
Now in Florida, the closest one I have is 2 hours away in Miami, and it still just has one long aisle. But now they've opened a refrigerator.
Oh yeah.
Cart with it in too. So they have expanded it, but not like 2 aisles.
Now, Rui, do they have anything? I know everything is totally different where you're at. Now, Total Wines over here are like these. They're huge. They're like a warehouse.
They are warehouses.
And it's just literally full of wine, beer, and spirits. Do you have anything like that, or you guys just mostly have like just crap shit tons of just beer places everywhere?
We usually go to the supermarket if you want something. They do have craft beer and other brands of wine. But yeah, there are wine stores just for wine, every kind of wine that you want. And also a few beer houses, I think, with the different brands and more craft beer.
Okay.
But if you really want something, you just go to the supermarket. They have most of it.
Okay. So the supermarket is. They do beer, wine, and liquor.
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you do want something specific, or someone with more knowledge of what they're selling, we also have that.
Okay. But you really don't have liquors, like big warehouse liquor and beer and wine stores, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. All right. Huh.
Yeah, and now I remember when I was in Germany, of course, you had smaller breweries all over the place. Like every kind of major town had its own brewery, or two, or even three in some cases. And then you had like a main beer garden for that brewery, and then perhaps other smaller beer gardens throughout different towns. Is that similar in Portugal?
Not so much. We have the main factories like Superboc and Sagres are the main sellers or producers of beer. Apart from that, just import in some local craft beer that sell locally.
I watched where's this guy out of? There's a beer show that, of course, I downloaded. Let me see where I can find this guy. I think he was called Toast or something. Cheers or Toast, something like that. Yeah, let me see. Chug. It's called Chug. Are you getting that? Do you get that show over there? I know it's a European show.
I have no idea.
No? That helped a lot, didn't it? But he goes to, it's pretty cool because he goes to different, other different countries. I think this one that I watched recently, he was in Rome, and just testing out the craft beer scene in all these different places. He's gone to Italy. He's on the fifth.
Like Anthony Bourdain, but with beer.
Right. Yeah. It's exactly. He's on his. I've seen several of these type of shows. It's the first season. It's the 5th episode that I'm watching.
Okay.
And I've seen many of these come and go already. This is probably the 4th show of this kind that's craft beer related in Europe, which attracts my attention because it's showing me that the American craft, and he credits a lot of it to the American craft beer scene, that they're getting even the European, much older, much more established breweries, thinking about new things. You know what I'm saying? And doing new things, and that's what I like. And I cannot wait to go over there. And
You gotta come
because
try some snails.
he'll show what I like about his particular show. It's called Chug. If you get a chance to find this show somehow and watch it, I don't
Okay.
know how you would do it. I'm not the most. I'm a little crafty at getting my shows, if you will.
Okay.
So I don't know how or where you'd find it, right? But what I like about his show is he'll show himself or him and a buddy trying to go out to review a certain pub or a certain beer, and they're supposed to do 2 or 3 breweries, you know, and they get so hammered at the
First one, they're like, ah.
Let's just sit right here.
Yeah. Seems like a good place. Let's just stay here.
Just keep them coming.
And I'm like, dude, that would totally be me. Because
Yeah.
some of the people they meet are just so freaking cool and just like party and whatever. And I'd be like, yeah, whatever, man. Next thing you know, you're.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do
Hey,
this.
we got
TV
another part of
show.
town to visit.
How was that beer? How was that beer you just drank? It was good.
Yeah.
While you're trying to keep your sobriety a little bit, you're all. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, what's up with that gun, man? I like that gun.
Yeah, I showed you that about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Just got it. I'm going to tell you a quick story. You want to kind of change things up? This is hilarious. I think it was hilarious anyway. So I got Lori a gun. I'm picking it up tomorrow morning.
Oh, cool. What are you getting her?
I'm getting her a 6-hour like mine,
Mm-hmm.
except it's a mini subcompact.
Oh, cool.
It's a P290.
Okay.
And so we were at the range last weekend, and there's like this 18-inch by 24-inch target, you know, that you shoot at from 15 feet away,
Mm-hmm.
handguns. And Lori is her first shot at with my gun, and she's not even hitting the target. I mean, she's not even hitting the cardboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm videoing this, and I'm going to post it.
Mm-hmm.
About 5 feet above the target is this metal pole that's holding everything, and at the last shot you hear ping.
Oh man.
5 feet above it, man.
Yeah.
That thing's
You know-
dead on.
You know what that shows you, and I do the same thing. When I go to the range, you set the target for a handgun at like 7 or 8 meters or whatever. So it's like 15, 20 feet, and
15?
it is hard. I mean, it really is hard
Mhm.
to fire a handgun.
I was getting them all in a pattern about like 10 inches.
Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, if you're doing that, then
Yeah.
that's
And I will
you're
say,
good enough. You're good enough. Yeah.
I would say on her defense, the first magazine she shot is when she hit that pole. Ping! It was so funny, I almost fell over.
Yeah.
But when I showed her how to use the sights, she was putting it on the target nearly every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not in the middle, but she was getting it.
So you
And,
get into the P290. Is that like a? It's like a 3-inch barrel? That's a small barrel, isn't it?
very small. Yeah, here's my gun.
Okay, that's a 9mm, right? Yeah.
This is my 9mm subcompact,
Okay. All right.
and hers is going to be an inch shorter
Wow.
that way, and
Uh-huh.
an inch shorter this way.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you can only hold 2 fingers on hers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's for concealing.
Uh-huh.
We're supposed to get our concealed weapons permit after 4 weeks, and we're 5.5 weeks into it. And
Yeah.
we still don't have it.
Welcome to local government.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, well, that's a nice gun. I've got a Springfield XDS.
Well, the Springfield's not a bad gun.
No, I really like it. It's a good.
I was at the range. The first time I went to the range, you know how you hold on a second. How you rack a gun,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't do it fast enough, and it got jammed. It's not the gun's fault; it was my fault. So I asked one of the guys there, can you help me get this? I don't know this gun very well. I just got it a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
He looked at the gun and says, Barrick, you've got one of the best guns known to mankind. 6 hours are the best. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. 6 hours are a good gun.
Yeah, they are. They're very good. Except when they jam. So
Well,
he's going to take the magazine out. He's going to take the magazine out, point it down range, and see if he could get the bullet in the chamber the round in the chamber to fire, and then put it back in. Or how did he clear it?
Oh, he just dropped the magazine.
Okay.
He dropped the magazine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like that.
Yep.
And then cocked it like that, and it
popped
ejected.
out. Yeah.
It was my bad. I mean, it's not the gun's fault.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's a pretty. It is a. You wouldn't think, but it is. It takes some effort to rack that. Yeah, I mean, it's not just like pull it back real easy and it goes. I mean, you've got to work at it.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the SIG is, and Joe, I hope you don't mind.
No, absolutely not.
I'll stop right after this.
No, I don't mind.
There's no safety on it, which is good in a self-defense situation.
Mm-hmm.
That there's no safety, but there is not. Hold on, just a second. There's not a hair trigger on this gun.
Yeah, it takes some effort to fire that.
Yeah, there's no safety on it. Now I've got my magazine out. Look how far I have to pull this thing back.
Yeah, you've got to.
It's almost, look.
Yep.
All the way to the end.
Yeah, I mean
all
you've
the
got
way
to.
Back.
And it takes some effort too. I mean, it's not just you've got to apply some pressure on it. Yeah.
Right. It's not going to go off in your pocket and shoot your toe off.
Yeah.
You
or
know?
something else. Yeah.
Screw the
heck
toe.
with the toe. I'm not worried about the toe.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. I can limp. I'm not worried about that part.
There you go. Speaking
What
of
you drinking there, big guy?
this is have you had Drafty Kilt, Barrick? Monday Night Brewing. They're out of Atlanta. This is the brewery that got their start on Twitter. Every Monday night they would brew Monday night. Everybody would go to their house and they would brew.
I've heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, exactly.
And Drafty Kilt is their Scotch ale, and this is their what they call their black tie series, their big series. So this is bourbon barrel aged Scotch ale.
Okay.
And
This is what I'm drinking. I'm sure you guys have heard me do this before. It's Cigar City's Invasion. And Evan, are you there? You know your mic is muted, right?
Yeah. My whole family's here, so we're trying to be quiet.
Okay.
Tried this. This is really good.
Dude, the Invasion's incredible.
It's really good.
Seriously, it's freaking fantastic. It's like high live but lower alcohol.
Yep. And you don't have your Earl shirt on.
I'll go grab it. Give me 1 second.
I wore this just for you, Evan.
Oh, thanks, man. I'll be right back.
I got him an Earl shirt. Oh, you know.
Oh, okay.
How you doing, man? Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
yeah, so Bum had a question for us. And he said, "What's your favorite new beer you've tried for the first time during 2014?" Well, that's a pretty good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah. Oh,
So new beer
so many beers, so
for
little time.
2014. What was the new beer you had this year?
I've had about 150 new beers this year, as near as I can tell, and
I tried a caramel ale from some local brewery that just knocked my socks off. And no one would ever heard of it because it's only distributed in Florida. But it was a caramel ale. It was sweet, caramely. It was amazing, actually.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of that.
I had the new one, the Superbox Stout.
A new Superbox. Would that be in the green bottle
Not
or
really.
the brown bottle?
Exactly.
Picture that, big guy.
Yeah. You know what? I know what mine is right away. I already know.
Right. Oh, wow.
Mine was, and those of you that have been following my Untapped know, it's just it's just kind of turned into my go-to beer.
Wait. It's Wait, hold on. I know what it is. Just don't stop me. It's
It involves you. Yeah.
I know that, and it's on the tip of my tongue, and it is a margarita something. What is it? Come on, guys, help me out here.
It involves you in your the pantyless skirts you wear.
Yeah, it's Tilted Kilt from 4P.
Yeah.
No. Look.
Yeah. No, that's what he had it.
That's what you were thinking of.
Yeah, Ruben had it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tilted Kilt.
You're thinking of a lime marita, Barrett.
Oh. That's what I'm thinking. Thank you.
What?
The lime burrito or the cherry burrito, whatever that is.
Yeah, but that wasn't new from 2014.
Well, the peach one wasn't it? So.
Did they come up with peach?
I don't know.
I don't think they came out with peach.
Well,
But in any case, this has.
The cranberry one.
Oh yeah, the cranberry's good.
Oh, show that again, Joe.
But this is it's turned into my it's a local beer, and it's
Okay, yep.
from Four Peaks, and it's Tilted Kilt. It's a Scottish ale, and it's just a really good, solid session beer that you can find everywhere here. It's literally everywhere.
That's good.
And it's so whenever you go to a bar, they're gonna have it on tap, at a good price.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what kind of it gets me to have it actually as well. Is that I can typically get it for $2 for a like a 20-ounce pour or a 22-ounce pour. It's ridiculous. So and sometimes $3 for a 22-ounce pour, but it's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going through my beers. Man. Hang on, Banter. I'll figure out something here.
For those of you that are just watching, maybe you're new to the show, a lot of us use a beer social app called Untapped.
Great app.
It's a fantastic app, and for moments like this, when you're trying to remember what the hell beer you had, you can easily, as long as you're kind of logging in the beers that you have, and then you get points and badges and all this sorts of stuff, and you'll get it's a beer social app, so you'll get all your friends cheering you and all this stuff, commenting and so forth. You get moments like this when you want to remember a certain beer or something that you had, you can just scroll through there. And it's kind of your memory.
Yeah. Speaking of memory, this is the one, I guess, well, it's not really a new beer, but this is probably the best beer I've had this year. And it's new to me. It was the Kentucky Bourbon Stout from 2009. Kentucky Breakfast Stout from 2009.
That's Dave's beer.
Yeah. That was a fantastic beer. I mean, it was 5 years old.
I think didn't you do that on here or no?
I think I did. Yes. Yeah. So there's so many good beers, and it's amazing.
Yeah. I want to ask Bum what was his.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put it in the questions there. I'd like to know what his was. That was definitely mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a new one. I just recently found out that a friend of mine brew beer actually at his home. So I had his. It was quite good, actually.
Good. What style was it?
I don't really know.
There you go. It was good. It was the good style.
It was good. Yeah.
What's the good kind? Yeah, exactly.
But,
that's it.
It was very hoppy. I guess you guys would say.
Okay.
All right. So
I got something. I got something to throw out there for you. Well, actually, prior to Barrick's Citra Bomb, I love Sweetwater IPA. And are there other beers out there you guys have tasted that are similar to the Sweetwater IPA? Kind of like low in alcohol content, not so bitter. Anything?
Yeah. More pale ale-ish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because Sweetwater IPA,
I think you gave me that beer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I haven't found anything down here quite like it, actually. I'm drinking a Goose Island IPA now, and I love the IPAs. But a little on the bitter side for me. Like I say, the Sweetwater's a little sweeter. So I'm just wondering if there's anything else out there you guys have tried.
God, you know what, man? That's a good one. I haven't thought. I don't know that I've had an IPA that wasn't lip puckering in a while.
Ranger IPA by New Belgium is pretty good. It's 6.5% ABV.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. I've tried that before. Yeah.
Sierra Nevada Torpedo is a little more bitter, but it's not bad, and it's about 7%, just under 7%. That might be a good one.
It can still be pretty. It's still pretty.
Mhm.
It's still.
That's why Sweetwater is so popular, at least in this part of wherever they distribute, because it's got enough bitterness. It's not too high in the ABV, and it's just a really tasty beer. I mean, it's a very well brewed beer.
Exactly.
Hey, you know what, guys? I'm telling you, the Invasion I'm drinking right now is really like an IPA, except it's low in alcohol, and it is just. If you can ever get Cigar City Invasion, for a session beer, I don't think you can beat it. That's just me.
Yeah. Joe D, where are you at? Who's the other guy? The white guy?
Me, the white guy?
Yeah. Where are you at, Mark? Minnesota?
Atlanta.
He's in Atlanta.
Oh, GA. All right, brother.
I'm in the home of Sweetwater.
Oh,
The skinny middle-aged white guy. That's me.
The middle-aged, exactly.
Joe D, where are you at, man?
You know what? You made me think about it a little bit. You know who makes one that you would like? Is the Shoots, my friend. The fresh squeezed IPA. I was trying to think of I was like, God, who makes one like that? Because it's kind of a really good go-to. It's got that fresh hop taste, that real nice grassy earthiness, but it ain't too lip puckering. You know what I'm saying? 60 IBUs. It's not too bitter.
You know, Joe, I haven't seen that around here.
I haven't even.
I saw Sierra Nevada Celebration at the local ABC store down there.
Yeah, not the Deschutes. I haven't seen that around here.
So that's pretty sweet. It's sweeter because it's a fresh hop. It's not quite so
Yeah,
good.
I just had one of those. It's a good beer. Very good beer.
Yeah, that's a good beer.
Celebration.
That's a good beer.
Okay.
That's hop ale.
Yeah, I had to look it up, but the fresh squeezed is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Okay, so next week when we come on, and I got Lower Your Gun, can I share what happens at the firing range?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
If she accidentally kills somebody, or
No.
or something like that.
If your range is like my range, all you're gonna do is embarrass yourself. That's about the worst that can happen there.
No, she's not. Yeah. I'll post the video of me shooting and stuff like that. And,
that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to make sure to put it on Google Plus so I can check it out.
I will. And actually, I'll post her second time because the second time she hit the target. So
that's good.
Yeah, see, now I personally don't own a gun, and that's a personal choice. I defend the right for people to have guns, but I just don't trust myself.
There you go.
Well, you know what, Joe?
God bless.
I just do not trust.
I
can get emotional, and dear God, man.
But the world is kind of went a little crazy, and yeah, I hope that I never have to even think about using it. But if I do, I feel safer.
Yeah, no, I feel it. No, I absolutely. That's.
And I hang around a lot of bikers, and I don't want to sound funny, but sometimes some things can go down with bikers, and I just want to be my wife and myself, be somewhat protected,
Yeah. It's
Pussy.
Hey, Bear, you know, I mean, you've already got the kilt on. I mean, just take it like a man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
They say, hey, what do you got under that kilt? And you say, I got a 9mm, baby.
Yeah, I didn't want to ignore your friend Barrick. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, I already forgot his.
Jay.
Dave.
Jay or Jason, either way.
Oh,
Jay.
Jason. Okay, Jay. And no, I'm in Phoenix. I recently I moved here from Albuquerque, so most people know me.
Man, the Festival of the Balloons.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
incredible. This was the first one that I've missed in 20 years, and so.
See that, right, Joe?
Oh, I've got many pictures. Many pictures.
Post some others to Google, and I'll show them to Jay.
Oh yeah.
They were amazing. Your pictures were amazing.
When my mother retired back in 1992, she moved to, give me a second, Ruidoso.
Oh, Ruidoso, yeah.
Yeah, Ruidoso was Ski Apache, and in the Nogales Canyon and whatnot. And so we went down to Albuquerque, went to Lincoln County, and went around to the Billy the Kid. Well, they call it a museum now, but it's the town of Lincoln, only about like 2 city blocks if you ever.
Right. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Mm-hmm.
So cool. But one thing we never did was took a ride on the hot air balloons in Albuquerque. That's where Mom was raised, in Albuquerque.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, a beautiful country out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It is.
It is very nice.
Yeah, post them.
Yeah.
Man.
Post them on, and I'll show them to Jay. Okay.
That's one of the things that I miss, because pretty much most mornings, I mean 90% of the time, there's balloons in the air in the morning. Every morning.
Even in the summer.
At least 6.
Mm-hmm.
Almost daily. There's at least 6 balloons in the air, because there's 6 different pilots that fly regularly. They're giving rides and so forth, or just keeping in practice, or training new guys, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they fly all the time, and with me working graveyard and getting off in the morning, on my drive home, a lot of times would see them. You know what I'm saying? So.
Very cool. Did you ever go on a hot air balloon?
It never interested me. Never did interest me going up in a balloon.
Scares me to death.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Death.
It just never interested me. I would rather take pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like it. I was fine. I've got many. But God, I've got so many pictures. I would take so many balloon pictures that I stopped after a while, because you don't want to get too many pictures of the same balloons. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why I'm saying, Joe,
Okay.
so that Jay can see them. Just do another one on Google Plus with some of those pictures, and I'll show them to him.
Awesome, man. He just told me you're a photographer, man, and I love art.
Actually, if you go through, I can't imagine that I don't have postings still up there.
No, I'm sure you do, but I'd have to.
Just some new ones. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll remember and go through, because I've definitely got some time off going into Christmas.
Cool.
Yeah, I work tonight, and then I'm off till next Monday.
Cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
Ha,
Yeah,
Bump
that-
posted an
I'm just
answer.
telling him here. Go ahead, bud. I'm sorry.
I was just saying that Bum posted the answer for the.
Oh, yes.
If it be-
Oh,
Superbuck.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his favorite is Superbuck, of course. Yeah, no, he said it's Buck Snort Stout from
From
North
Northtown,
Valley
yep, Slippery Rock, PA. Yes, I do. I do know that brewery. It's good. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, and his runner-up is Mirror Pond Pale Ale, which is a solid beer.
Yes, it is.
Oh dear God, that is one of their flagship beers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. That's kind of the beer that gets everybody into Deschutes, I think.
Bum,
Yeah,
I only live like an hour from Slippery Rock, and I still have not tried that beer.
Oh my God, yeah, you got to have. their Mirror Pond Pale Ale and the doggone it, the Black Butte are two of their like main flagship beers.
Buck's North Stout. That's from Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania.
Yep. I'm gonna say, Bum, my favorite beer of the year. I found it, and now that I see it, I remember it. Is Westbrook Brewing. They're out of South Carolina. They're Goza. It's a goose, which is a sour, salty sour beer. Oh.
What's
There we go. I got Joe going.
what's
Sour, salty balls. We had the same reaction back in April when I first had this beer.
You know where they get the saltiness, right? I mean, it's
It's special salt. Special salt.
It's a special blend.
Craft. It's craft. It's craft salt.
It's very crafty.
And squeezed.
Yes, just slightly squeezed.
Lightly squeezed. Oh. We're going off the rails yet again.
You know what's hilarious, man, is it doesn't stop. Like, everybody knows me that way. Like, I was in a meeting, and we had some VPs and all this stuff there, and they're giving this meeting, and they're just saying stuff, and I'm like...
And you're like, I don't mind Joe.
Freaking... Everybody knows me, man, because I'm just trying to contain myself. He's saying stuff, just stupid stuff like people's names. He's like, yeah, Peter, and I'm like, and I'm telling my buddy next to me, he said Peter.
Peter North?
Yeah.
Just stupid stuff. Yeah, I swear to God, one of these days I'll grow up. You know what I'm saying? But
Don't do that.
It's pretty bad when your kids tell you, Dad, come on, grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
growing up is overrated. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Boo. But hey, thank you guys for jumping in, man.
Yeah. Everybody have a Merry Christmas, man. It's only in a couple days, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what?
Listen, guys.
Jay reminded me of I remember last week I was trying to remember other beer reviewers and so forth that were part of the old show back in the day. And if you remember, Mark, Jay was a friend of Chad.
Oh yeah, Jay. Yep, Jay's beer reviews. He's still doing reviews.
Is he really? Okay.
Yeah. He's
good.
In, Eastern Pennsylvania. Yeah, he's still doing that. He popped in a few times. Yeah, there's a few others too.
And Chad was one of the ones that used to be sometimes in the show, and then there was this big thing that happened, and
back in the good old days, there were only like 10 of us.
Exactly. That was a lot of fun, man.
Now there's like
the show was on Tuesdays.
Yeah, now there's a million of us. But yeah, so anyway, man, tune in next week, man, for another episode. What is that? That'll be 302.
The last show of 2014.
The last show of 2014, man.
Okay.
And then the last shows in January, I think maybe one or two of those shows I will be off of work, so
okay.
those could be interesting.
Extended, we get extended play versions.
Those could be interesting.
Well, let us know ahead of time.
Yeah,
I can plan ahead a little bit.
Yeah, I'll definitely be.
Hey, Evan?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. We'll see you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, Bum.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. Enjoy.
Comments, man. Merry Christmas to everybody. Be safe out there, man. And if
Merry
we
Christmas.
don't hear or see from you for New Year's, man, please be careful. Please,
I
man.
guarantee one thing. Barrick is not going to have a white Christmas down there. Joe neither.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there ain't gonna be none here either. Yeah, absolutely. Unless
Not me, just a crap load of rain. That's all we're getting.
Yeah,
so.
that's it. So, okay, guys, take it easy, man. Peace out.
See ya.
Please, yeah.
Stop, man.
Later. Bye.